Welcome back to Uncorked Crime. It's Amelia.
And Kelly. And today we have a special guest all the way from North Carolina.
Woo!
Kendra Fleming is here with us today.
Hey.
Welcome.
Thank you.
We're so glad to have you. Our first guest that's not Amrit and Jordan.
It's our first girl guest.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Oh.
Special.
Yeah,
Nice.
we've only had Amrit and Jordan.
Yeah.
Kendra and I met in Kalamazoo working together.
Yep.
And then she lived with me for a while.
Where'd you guys work?
Oh.
Dan Wood Company.
Good old Dan Wood.
DWC. It wasn't
Yeah.
the best.
No.
So you guys have known each other for how long?
Oh my gosh, when was that?
Alex left in
14, 15?
2015.
I was say it was around there.
Yeah.
So 2014 then, because we met before he left.
Oh, that's right.
And he left
He left 2015 or 16.
September though, right?
Yeah.
He left on my birthday.
Yeah. And then I moved in with her.
Yeah.
Pay some cheap ass rent.
She had to, her husband was in the army. We should specify.
Yes.
He literally was going off to basic training on my birthday. And then she came over with cake and chips and dip. It was like all upset, but like wanted to be there for my birthday. It was,
I really
Aw,
did try.
I know, it was so nice.
Aw.
Yeah.
How precious.
I know.
What a great friend.
Thanks. I did cry a little bit, but we did celebrate.
Yes. It was nice.
Yes.
Well, that's nice.
But yes. Okay. So anything we want to talk about? Because if not, we have our typical rapid fire for Kendra.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing to talk about, so let's just jump into it.
All right. We'll start with some easy ones. What's your favorite sport?
To watch or play?
Do both.
Okay. I love watching hockey, but I love playing soccer. But I can really watch any sport, but hockey's my favorite.
Do you like to watch soccer?
Yeah, I do.
I like to watch soccer.
Yeah, it's fun.
You played soccer, right?
Yeah, I did. Until I moved to Georgia. I played on adult league, and then I played since I was like 4.
Are you still playing?
No. Nah. I had a kid, so
I was
let's
gonna
I was
just
going to say, a kid takes
No.
over your life.
Yeah.
Tell us about your kid.
He just turned 2.
Aww.
He blonde hair, blue eyes.
Yes.
He is cute.
He's
He
a
is.
chunky little.
Yeah.
I mean, like
Yes.
blonde, like
White.
white
Bleach
blonde.
blonde hair.
Yeah, which is crazy. I'm sure it will turn brown, but
Yeah.
it definitely sticks out.
Yeah.
And what's his name?
Ari Seavright Fleming.
Seawright?
Seavright.
Seawright. Where'd you get that name?
It's a family name from Alex's side of the family.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Alex
His
is her husband.
great grandmother's like maiden name.
Oh.
And he wanted to bring it back in.
I like it.
I like it though.
It was.
It's
yeah.
cool.
It's long, but you know.
I know. Remember when you guys were talking about? She texted me and she's like, "Is this too much for a middle name?"
I know.
You want to talk
Totally
about
though.
long? We
Yeah.
got 2 middle names over here.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay.
And they're both like, well, one
They're
of mine is
handfuls.
short, but
Mine are not short.
yeah, that's true. I'm surprised you didn't say anything about horse or your barrel.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I asked that question because I knew you'd
About
say
what?
soccer.
I used to race horses.
Oh.
Barrel racing.
Barrel
right?
racing, yeah.
That's what it's called, is barrel race?
This
Barrel
bitch has
racing.
so many ribbons and trophies and all
Yeah.
sorts of stuff. I really thought she was gonna bring it up.
I got rid of the horses before I moved, and
I got over my fear of horses
You
with
did.
her horse Saturday.
yeah,
She had this horse, and her neighbor called from her dad's house, right?
yeah.
The horse got loose, and she was like, "You need to come get your horse." And we were working together. She's like, "You have to go with me." And I was like, "I don't do horses. They scare me. They're big, awkward animals."
I've never seen a horse in person.
It's just
that
such
weird?
a big animal that it makes
That
me
is kinda
uncomfortable.
weird.
So
Yeah,
we go
I can
find
see
this
that.
horse. She's like, "All right, you
We
have to
go
hold
find
him."
this horse. Like it's a lost dog. We go find this
No,
horse.
we were walking
It was
around.
very common where I grew up.
Yeah,
Okay.
horses. It's all
Uh-huh.
horse farms,
Yeah.
whatever. So she's like, "All right, hang on to him while I fix the fence." And I'm like, "Hang on. Like if he runs away, I'm gonna stop him."
Like, hang on to what? His tail?
He had a rope around his neck.
Oh.
Well,
That sounded-
to lead
yeah.
rope. Okay.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah, that sounded weird.
yeah, it sounded so
Just
bad.
lasso him up.
And she's like, "Just hold him. It's fine." And I'm like, "Oh my god, you're putting me
Oh
in charge
my
of this
God.
horse."
It was
I
funny.
did, but then we became friends.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
nice.
that's why I
That's
thought she was
cool.
gonna say the
That's a
horse
fun
thing.
little
Yeah.
hobby.
Yeah, well, expensive, but it was very fun. My sister and I did it for 8 years.
Speaking of your sister, is an identical twin sister
Yes.
Identical.
Identical.
to the point where when Kendra and I first became friends, we were meeting at one of the bars downtown Kalamazoo.
Mm-hmm.
I walk up, think it's Kendra. I hug her. I'm like, "Hey, girl," and she's like, "I think you're looking for my sister." And I was like, "Who the fuck are you?"
Yeah, you guys do look a lot alike.
Yeah.
That's how I feel what happens with Megan. Like, always out at the bar, people think I'm Megan. And I'm just like, I don't even I don't even tell them that I'm Amelia. I just let them guess.
Yeah. At some point, you just
It's
kind of have to let it.
annoying.
It's so
Yeah.
annoying to like constantly fix like.
Yeah.
And I just now respond to Kelsey because 9 times out of 10 they're
Just,
not
like-
calling me the right name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not gonna go through this conversation.
Do you ever
every
act
time.
like you're her sometimes just to like get it out of the way? Because like sometimes they'll be like Megan, and I'll be like hi, just like if I'm like quick walking by, I'll be like hi, yeah, Megan.
Right.
Just because like I don't.
You just
wanna
don't want to deal
sit
with
there
it.
and explain like
Yeah,
so-
because then you're like, oh, you have a twin sister, and then they're like,
yeah,
it
it's a
just
whole
brings up
conversation.
whole thing,
Yeah.
and you're like, Kelsey used to work at Family Fair, which
Mhm.
was right next to McDonald's, and I worked at McDonald's. She worked at Family Fair in high school, so people would go to get their groceries and see my sister,
Oh.
cashing them out, and then would drive through McDonald's drive-through and see me and completely lose their
Trip
shit.
Oh my God, I
out.
bet.
They would be like, how'd you get here so fast?
I would
and I was
too,
like,
I'd be like, wait a second.
I was like,
That
what?
is so funny.
It's so funny, and Kelsey and I would always joke, be like, I just started actually like 2 minutes ago.
Right.
I just got here. Like,
I walked
So
across
good
the
to
parking
see you
lot.
people were like,
again.
wow, good for you working both jobs. I'm like, yeah.
right. Got to get that money.
That's so weird. I've never heard that story. Okay. Okay. So, do you have any pets? Oh, we talked about Evie, but tell us about your other sweet girl,
My sweet girl, Tessa girl.
Major's
Yes.
girlfriend.
Yes, I've had Tessa since I was 18. She is a Shepherd Aussie Terrier mix, shelter dog. She's great. She's an old lady now. She'll be 11 this year.
Dang.
I know, but
She's
she's
a good dog.
is,
She's
yeah.
super chill.
she's so
Mhm.
chill. Like
Yeah.
even when we drive up from North Carolina to here, like you don't even know if she's in the back seat.
Really?
Like she just chills.
I remember when you guys lived together, she was always just chilling.
Oh yeah,
Major's
It's
probably instigating shit.
probably yeah.
But
Yeah,
he'd always
she's-
share his bones.
Always. She only chewed on bones after Major did.
Yeah.
If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would it be? No COVID restrictions.
No
No
money
money
restrictions,
restrictions.
Ooh,
Anywhere.
no money restrictions. That's huge. I've always wanted to go to Rome in
Oh,
Australia,
I
but
feel like
Rome.
you don't hear that very often.
Mm-mm.
But now that you say that, yeah, that's a good one.
Someone
No.
always says a tropical place first.
Yeah,
Mhm.
my 12-year-old self always wanted to go to Australia, and then I learned that every like 10 steps something can kill you, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Rome sounds better.
Way
Let's do
safer.
Rome.
Right.
Most people say like Germany, Spain, Ireland, like the
Yeah.
basic
Mhm.
ass.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard Rome. I like that answer.
Yeah.
I really want to go to Greece.
Ooh, yes.
Mm-hmm. That made me think of it when you said Rome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's mine. I'm the basic bitch. Polish
Switzerland,
and German, or
Yeah,
Poland
Ireland.
and Ireland,
Yeah.
just because heritage wise.
Right.
Ireland would be cool though.
Yeah.
Yes. I've had some friends that go there and they love it.
Yeah, I would love to.
I think Germany would be cool too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. If your life was a TV show, which one would it be?
Army Wives.
Is that a show?
Yeah, isn't it? It was at some point.
I don't know, but it should be.
It is a
'cause they have
show.
some
It's a
crazy
real thing. I
bitches.
didn't just make that up.
Oh my god, that is funny.
It was a reality
Real
show.
Army Housewives or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Army Wives. It is a TV show.
Yeah, I was being serious.
Oh gosh, I couldn't even imagine what that's like.
Wait.
The TV show. I'm gonna say Friends because I absolutely love that show.
I love Friends.
I just
That's a good one. I've never
I
like
love that
watched it all the
show.
way through, but that's a good one.
I want my future TV show to be Grace and Frankie though.
Oh my god, that's gonna be me and Kendra. We say it all the time. That's gonna be us.
Yes.
What is your favorite wine, beer, and mixed drink?
Okay, so I love sweet wine, but Shalom is probably my favorite. And then my favorite beer is cherry wheat. And my favorite mixed drink
Where's cherry wheat from?
is a Samuel Adams.
Oh, okay.
I can't find it down south though.
Really? Did you
Yeah.
stock up when you're here?
I was
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
say, you should get a
I was gonna
case.
say.
Oh yeah.
Oh, anytime you're fiending, I'll mail you some.
Okay.
Probably not legal, but I'll do it.
Sure, her eyes got real wide.
That's huge for me.
If you say so.
Right.
Bitch, yes.
Mixed drink. I've recently started drinking a lot of vodka and water with a Crystal Light. Cause
That's like
So
grandma.
watered down vodka.
yeah. Well, it's just like
Flavored.
vodka, water, and then a Crystal Light,
Like the packet.
like a packet Crystal Light.
So you're not actually adding any liquid but water. So it's essentially flavored watered down vodka.
But that's
I mean,
like
hey,
the
bitches
same
gotta
thing.
hydrate.
I drank vodka and bubbly. That's essentially
Yeah.
flavored water.
Yeah.
I do a lot of that. I did recently make a really good one. It was like a watermelon vodka and like a strawberry white
Ooh.
crayon.
That sounds
Yeah,
delicious.
Juice.
I don't do vodka, but that sounds great.
Well, vodka.
I drink a lot. I drink Smirnoff a lot, but my husband buys that Svedka.
Mm-hmm.
Svedka.
Yep.
What do you drink?
Tito's.
Oh
yeah.
gosh. All right. Jack Daniels. What's your biggest fear?
Tornadoes.
Oh.
Those are a
Really?
huge thing. Yeah, when I moved to Georgia, it was a very horrible experience. There's one like every
Oh.
week.
I would say she's been living down south the last
Yeah.
couple of years,
That is-
so
Georgia was
It's
bad.
got to be terrifying. What is the last book you read?
or are currently reading.
The Perfect Stranger. Kelly let me borrow the book. I'm almost done with it.
What one is that about?
It's about this girl that she was a journalist and she met her friend out in Pennsylvania for a fresh start.
They moved into like that
Like,
house in the woods kind of thing,
yeah.
and then her roommate went missing.
Yep, her roommate went missing and
I don't want
I
to go
haven't
too far.
finished
I don't
it
know where
'cause-
you're at.
No, yeah.
Stop.
I have like 4 chapters left.
I don't
but
think
got
I've read
busy with
it.
Oh,
school.
you can read it next.
Yeah, I'm almost done with it.
Is it red?
Nope, it's purple.
No, purple.
Black and purple.
And the font's like yellow.
Yeah.
It's the-
Oh, nope.
it looks
haven't read
like
it.
like a sunset almost, like the sky's like purple and black, like
Yeah.
twilight time.
Mm.
And then it says the perfect
it's
stranger in,
good.
like yellow.
I don't want to say too much to give it away,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
it's a good book. She's
Sounds
always
good.
Where I
recommended
got
good
it.
ones.
What's the last thing you binge watched?
Suits.
Suits.
Yes.
What's that?
It's a show on Amazon Prime that my husband told me about because he's going to law school. That's
Oh,
his
he
plan.
is?
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
That's
Oh,
his,
good for him. I
That's
didn't
his
know
plan.
that.
Yeah. So when he was in Afghanistan, because he was deployed, he started watching the show Suits because they had a bunch of free streaming
Streaming.
services.
Is that with Meghan Markle?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's Meghan Markle.
I started to watch that, but I haven't finished it because me and Jordan started something else. But I need to go back to it.
It's really good. He asked me to get into it so we could finish it together when he got back, and I was like, "Ugh, I have all my other shows, but I got into it.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It is good. It's kind of like a Law and Order, but like more like
Dramatic, like
more
drama.
like lawyer side.
It's all lawyer. Yeah.
But then they all have backstories and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it follows their lives.
Yeah.
too.
It's really good.
It is pretty good. I never finished it. I'm gonna get back on that.
Oh, now I kind of want to check it out.
What is your favorite podcast?
This one.
I literally wrote it down as a question. I was like, she better get this one fucking right.
Besides Uncorked Crime.
Besides us, good answer. But besides
I
that.
do really like Crime Junkie. I
Yeah.
listen to that one. But it's usually I listen to your guys's like when I'm driving like long
Yeah.
distance. But sometimes I have to turn the Crime Junkie off because I usually listen to that when I'm like driving from North Carolina to Michigan, and we always drive through the night, so I'm like in the middle of
Yeah.
like buttfuck nowhere, Virginia, and I'm listening
my
to
God,
how
then-
like women get abducted
Yeah.
from highways. I'm like, all right, I gotta listen to like
She stops at
something
a rest
else.
stop and she's like,
Yeah.
I ain't going inside.
I'm gonna pee right here.
Yep.
Ari, I'm using one of your diapers.
Right.
I do listen to a couple mom ones too.
Mhm.
Those ones are pretty
Oh.
good, but
Okay, your last question, the most important one. Who's your favorite McGill sister?
well, I'm gonna have to say Kelly.
Yes! That's the first time I've gotten a vote.
I know everybody
you
says
you
nothing.
let me live with you and
True.
charge me nothing for rent.
I'll
Everyone
let you
else has
have
said
it.
Sunny so far, but she never met
Oh,
Sunny,
no.
so. One up for Kelly, so it's 3 Sunny, 2 Sunny,
2 Sunny,
1 me.
0
You're
me.
my favorite.
Nobody
Oh.
likes me.
What are my favorite?
Did
tell
Jordan
Sunny.
say Sunny?
Yes.
Oh, he definitely had to plead, like,
Yeah,
essentially
he pled the
plead the
5th.
Okay.
Sunny's the scapegoat answer.
Well, Amrit didn't say Sunny. Amrit said John. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
John,
yeah.
Sunny, Kelly, 0 me.
Oh,
All right. Do we want to open Kendra's favorite wine?
Yes, Kendra brought a bottle of wine for us today.
What is your favorite wine, Kendra?
it's called Shalom. It is a St. Julian wine. St. Julian is a winery in Pawpaw. That's where I'm from, Pawpaw, Michigan. And it was originated there. And it's,
It's a Michigan kosher
yeah,
wine.
Well, it looks delicious.
it's so good. We had it at the wedding, and it didn't last long.
At your wedding?
Kendra
Nice.
introduced me to this wine when we lived together, and it's all we used to drink.
I'm sure I've tried it then with you guys.
It's pretty
I'm
good.
sure you have.
But I haven't had it a long time, so. Ooh, what a good pour.
So Kelly pour.
Mm-hmm.
I could smell it before I took a drink,
Yep.
and it just brought back so many good memories of us
Yep.
in that little apartment we lived in.
It just brought back the memories that I have had this wine before, and it is delicious.
Yes.
Good. I can't find anything like it down south, and
Really?
I order actually wine from St. Julian's because I just can't find one that's good.
So, do we want to rate the wine?
Yes. I think we should rate all the wines we drink from now on.
Okay, so Kendra, what do you rate it?
1 out of 5.
1 out of 5.
5.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say it's your favorite, so it's 5.
I'm going to go with a 4.6 just because I'm not big on sweets.
Yeah.
But if I had to drink a sweet wine, this would be the one always.
Yeah.
If I could find it in Michigan or Jackson, I'd be a happy lady.
I think I give it a 4.2.
Mm.
It is very good, but like sweet isn't my favorite.
You like
Yeah.
more dry wines?
I like all wine, but like I don't know.
You prefer
sweet.
dry.
Yeah, like I can't like drink sweet like
Mm-hmm.
a whole bottle. Like I
Right.
could, but like I'll get like
Yeah.
sick of it. You know.
Yeah. Too much sweetness in the belly. I love this
Mhm.
wine though. I could just chug this whole thing.
You got to say the line, Kendra.
Now that we've uncorked the wine, can we uncork the crime?
Yes, let's
She did-
do it. Usually I have to tell people how to say it, and you didn't even hesitate.
I
That
listen to every episode you guys put out.
She literally didn't even have to say like, wait,
She
this
knew.
is it, right? She hit
She was
that
like, "Yep,
on
I
the
got
head.
this. I've been waiting for my moment to shine."
I am so impressed.
All right, let's do it. What you got?
Today, we are going to talk about the disappearance of Kyron Horman.
Ooh, never heard of it. Kyron?
Kyron Horman.
Is this a man or a woman?
It's a little boy.
Oh
Little
no!
boy,
Yeah.
why would you do this one?
Why
with
would
me?
you do
But okay, there are nothing gory. There's nothing like,
Oh, okay.
it's a disappearance.
Oh,
Not
right.
a murder. Well, that we know of. Okay.
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 So, in the year 2000,
Mhm.
Kane Horman, who was a computer engineer, married Desiree Young. After 2 years of marriage, things went south pretty quick, and they agreed to separate. And then Desiree found out she was pregnant.
Wait, so how long were they together?
2 years.
Oh.
Married 2 years.
Oh, jeez.
Desiree found out she was pregnant, so they were like, okay, we should try and like work it out. But when she was 8 months along with their first child, Desiree filed for divorce. Sad. But
Oh, so they tried to fix
Yeah.
things.
yeah, and then 8 months, she found out she was pregnant, and then 8 months later, she was like, nope, still not working.
Jeez, like while she's about to pop out a baby.
Yeah.
Might as well get it done with before that baby comes out.
Right.
Okay. So, September 9th, 2002, Kyron Richard Horman was born in Portland, Oregon.
Oregon?
Oregon? Oregon.
Oregon.
Oh, I've said both.
Portland, Oregon. That's Oregon.
I've always heard of Oregon.
Hmm.
That's what Keith called it, and he lived there.
Tomato,
That's
tomato.
nice. Right.
Oregon. And the parents agreed on joint custody of their son.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
Yes. 2004, so Kyron's now 2 years old.
Mhm.
His mom, Desiree, found out that she had severe kidney failure.
Oh no.
It was treatable, but she was going to need like extensive life-saving treatment.
The mom?
medical- Yes.
Oh no.
So she actually had to go to Canada to get the treatment she needed. It was probably cheaper.
And where are they at? Oregon.
Portland.
Portland.
My bad.
We're just going to stick with Portland. Okay, so although Kane, who was 36 at this time, the dad, was granted full custody of Kyron during her getting treatment and whatnot,
Oh no.
Desiree did remain an active parent in her son's life.
Oh,
Like, he would go see her, talk on the phone. Like, she was still a presence in his life, but he had full custody.
Okay.
Due to Kane's high demand job,
Of
and then
a
having full
computer
custody-
person?
well, I think he was just like high up.
Oh,
Like, he was
okay.
a breadwinner for
Mhm.
sure. So he had a very high demand job, and he now had a 2-year-old son to take care of.
Right.
His girlfriend that they had been dating for 2 years, his girlfriend moved in. His girlfriend moved in of 2 years, Terri Moulton. She had a 10-year-old son herself,
Okay.
but she moved in to
What was
help.
his name?
James.
Okay. Terry and James.
Yeah, mother and son.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So she moved in to help take care of them, and she brought her 10-year-old son with her.
Mhm.
She was a substitute teacher at the time, and it supposedly came out that Kane was having an affair with her while he was still Desiree.
Oh, I mean, that would be
The
a good
timeline.
reason why at 8 months she's like, no, fuck you.
Yeah.
That would be a very good reason.
So
Yes.
his girlfriend's been in the picture for a while then.
Since Kyron was born.
Okay.
Like, she's been there.
But it had to have been the second time around. I'm
The
just
second time
assuming
around
the
what?
second time around that they got back together, tried to make it work, and then they broke up because
Oh, or she was just like, yeah, I can't get over it. I'm
Yeah,
out.
probably that. She couldn't.
Well,
get
then
over
he
it.
wasn't with her at some point. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that he
No, I
wasn't with
don't
a
know what you're-
girlfriend for that 8 months.
That's
Okay.
what I'm, yeah.
Oh, like, yeah, I don't know.
Either way.
Either way, yes. So Terry moved in. She was a substitute teacher at the time.
You always do that.
'Cause I lost
You always
my-
do her. She always does.
Because I lost my train of thought. I was in my notes.
But you always do the little song.
Do I?
The same
know.
song.
Do I?
Yes.
I know a lot of times I also go.
Yeah, you do that too.
Do the.
Major.
You do it. You do it together.
Oh my god, I did not know this. Funny. Okay. So Desiree was released from the hospital in 2004. The same time Terry moved in,
Mm-hmm.
but she moved in with her family in Medford to give her time to like heal, get back on her feet.
Right.
She'd been out of work. Like
Well, she's
get
got
her
like
shit
a
together.
2-year-old kid. It's probably
Right.
jumping on her and stuff.
Yeah.
Probably not good for her.
Yes. It said that she never tried to regain custody of Kyron, but like she saw him on the weekends. Again, she
Right.
was still a part of the
Active.
life. Kane
Yeah.
didn't hold
They
him
had some-
back. Yeah.
Understanding.
Yep.
Agreement.
So jump forward to 2005, or a year later.
Okay.
Terry, Kane's girlfriend,
Mm-hmm.
stepmom, essentially.
Right.
Terry was stopped for drunk driving and had her son in the car. So she had her 11-year-old son, James, in the car. She blew a .15,
Ooh.
which is almost double the legal limit.
She was
Okay.
real drunk.
Yes.
Where was she coming from?
Yeah.
Where
She
was
got
she
it-
going?
Home, I hope. She got a DUI and a reckless child endangerment charge, but because it was her first offense and she had no prior convictions, she had to take like the diversion course
Right.
and like just did her thing, didn't have to serve jail time.
She at least have to go to AA or something.
Oh, I'm sure that's part of the course.
Okay.
I'm sure the course is like you have to take classes and you have to
Oh.
meet like AA
Right.
or yeah, I'm sure.
So basically, she didn't get jail time. She
Yeah.
probably didn't have a record.
It's kind of like when you get
Yeah.
your first speeding ticket.
Yeah.
Obviously, much more minor offense
Yeah.
than drunk driving at
Yeah.
half the limit or
With
double
a
the
child
limit
in
with
the
your son in the
car.
car.
Yeah, but still with
But-
a child in the car and she doesn't get.
Yeah.
That's risky.
Hmm.
Risky. If she was just by
I
herself.
mean, but it's your first offense. First offenses usually
Yeah.
get off pretty easy.
Yeah, but she was by herself. Or if she was by herself, I'd understand. But she would have had a kid.
I know.
So like,
That's what kind of I would have. I mean, she probably lost her. Obviously, lost
Same.
her license.
Yeah. Suspended
yeah.
license. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So just keep that in the back of your mind for later.
mm-hmm.
April of 2007. Jump forward 2 years. Kane and Terry finally get married in Hawaii. So now
Oh.
she's officially Kane's stepmom.
No, Kane's wife.
Kyron's stepmom.
I was like,
I know,
whoa.
for a second I was like, Kyron's stepmom.
Okay.
Kyron is now 5. Okay, so they live a happy married life. December 8th of 2008, Terry gives birth to Kane's second child, Kyra. It looks like it's
Kyra.
Kiara. But I've-
Kyra.
Kyra.
It looks like Kiara to me,
Kiara.
but I want to say it is Kyra. I'm just
Either
gonna
one.
say her
Kiara
as
or
the
Kyra.
daughter because Kane, Kyron, Kyra. It just gets confusing. So
Ooh.
she doesn't get brought up much. So I'm just gonna say the daughter or
Okay,
sister.
Okay.
So Kyron was now 6 and he was in school at Skyline Elementary.
Mm-hmm.
His stepmom Terry volunteered there after maternity leave with the daughter. She took both kids to swimming lessons. She was like emergency contact for Kyron at the school. She's pretty much like
Where was
the
the mom
mother
at this
figure.
point?
His mom was still recouping or like
Recovering
getting better.
for this long.
Like I said, she never asked for custody back.
So she just kind of
So-
took the part-time parent role.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is she still living with her parents?
It never gets brought up again, like where she was living.
Oh, okay.
So whether she was in an apartment by herself or a house by herself, I don't know why I specified apartment. Whether she was living by herself or with her parents.
But it sounds like stepmom. You
Yeah,
know?
his
She was
stepmom
like the
definitely stepped
ultimate
up.
soccer mom.
Yes. She stepped up and was like, gonna raise this kid because he needs a mom.
Okay.
So on the subject of Terry, I'm gonna give you a little background on her.
Ooh, I love some background.
I knew Amelia was gonna be excited. Okay. So we're gonna backtrack to 1991.
Okay.
Ooh, birth year.
Ooh, birth year.
Terry married her first husband, Ron Tarver.
Okay.
Tarver.
Terry and Ron.
Yep, Terry and Ron. She met him in college. 1994. His
birth year.
They had a son named James.
Oh, okay.
Her 10-year-old son.
Oh, so he's my age. Ooh, where's
Yeah.
James now?
Ooh.
He doesn't really come in much. But in 1994, So a year after her first son was born, Ron and Terri got divorced. There was a lot of back and forth over the next couple years with like child support, and like he wasn't paying it, and like all this like
As
bullshit.
it does.
Yeah. 1996, a year later.
So 1994, he was born. 1995, they got divorced. 1996, she gets married again.
To her second husband.
Okay, go on.
In 1998, 2 years later, Richard adopted James
Oh.
because the first dad like wasn't really like
Well, he's not paying child support.
didn't really want to be in the life.
Okay.
2000, Terri graduated with a bachelor's degree in education. 2001, Terri and Richard separated. 2002, Terri and Richard's divorce was final. So within 1991 to 2002, she was married and divorced twice.
Okay.
Jeez.
Only one kid so far, though. Richard still had to pay more than $500 a month for child support until James was 18 because legally he was his parent because he had adopted him.
Ooh, that's
Damn.
deep.
But like didn't see him for years. I don't know if Terri didn't let him.
Or he didn't really try because really.
Yeah, I
Right.
don't know the circumstances, but I know he didn't see him for like years after the divorce and was still paying child support every month. So after the second divorce in 2002, Terri was working different jobs, teaching jobs
Mm-hmm.
here and there before moving in with Kane. Because right after
Right.
her and
Richard.
Richard got divorced, she started dating Kane.
Okay.
Like right after?
Yeah, because that was the same year
Same year.
Kyron was
Okay.
born.
Same
Like,
year.
was she?
And then in 2004, his 2-year girlfriend moved in, so they had
Right.
to start dating right
Like,
away.
was she messing around with Kane when she was married then?
Could be,
Could
because
be.
it's the same year. I don't have months, so I don't know.
Maybe
but
that's why they both got divorced.
yeah,
Yeah.
You know,
that could have been. You're right.
getting around.
She's got a lot going on in
Yeah.
her life.
Terry,
Yeah.
back it up. Put it in reverse. Terry.
I was like, what are you
It's like
talking
I
about?
could tell in your face you weren't getting it.
I thought you meant like twerking or something. I was like, I mean, she's getting men and like, I don't
She
know.
just looked at me like, okay.
Good joke, bitch. Okay, so during this time, she also received her master's degree in education.
Oh, okay. Good for you,
So, like,
Terry.
Kids are like, you know, she went to school for like childhood school. You know
Education.
what I mean? So like, kids are like her thing.
Right.
And then she stepped up to be a stepmom. So,
Yeah.
she substituted every now and then after she moved in with Kane to take care of Kyron, but she never went back full time because she was there helping with Kyron. There was never any really like bad blood between her and any other ex-husbands. Like they
Mhm.
were all pretty cordial. Like,
Yeah.
and when she had to like drop off neither
Right.
of them, like even with Kane and Desiree, and then Terri with all her ex-husbands, like
So did
No bad
Terry and Desiree get along? Or was Desiree not really around to get along? Or will you get there?
we will get
Okay, sorry. Ooh.
Okay, so now we're gonna jump forward now that we have Terry's background of her messy life. So we're going to June 4th, 2010.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, jumping ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that was just background.
Yeah.
Okay, so June 4th, 2010. Kyron is 7 and he's in the 2nd grade. He was a very shy and reserved kid, and
Mhm.
apparently had really bad eyesight, but he had the cutest little glasses.
Oh.
He couldn't see more than like 3 feet in front of him without his glasses.
Jeez.
Literally,
Oh.
cutest little freaking kid.
CSI. He's wearing a CSI
Yeah.
shirt.
Look at
I
that
love it.
smile.
Look at him.
Oh,
Oh.
he's cute.
I know.
Look at that precious boy.
Okay, so we're June 4th. He had his school science fair that day, which was the CSI picture. Was him
Aw.
sitting by his school project. His project was about tree frogs.
Oh.
Yeah, it's cute. He was very excited to go and present his thing. So
I was gonna say he looks like a little nerdy kid, like he's
Yeah.
into that.
yeah, he was probably so excited. So Terri, the stepmom, took Kyron to school that day, which was normal. She usually took him to school, picked him up, went into the building with him to drop off his poster. She left around 8:45, and the last thing she saw before leaving the building was Kyron walking down the hall towards his classroom, almost to his classroom door. That would be the last sighting known of Kyron Horman.
Ugh.
So we're only taking her word. Nobody else saw them at the school.
I'll get to it.
Oh, sorry, I'm jumping ahead.
So 3:30 that same day, Kane was back home from work at this time and was walking down to the bus stop with Terri and their daughter to meet Kyron coming home from school on the bus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They were told Kyron never got on the bus, so they called the school right away. The school said that Kyron had not been seen at school and was not marked
Present?
Absent? Oh.
Well, he was marked
I was
absent.
going to say absent, but present. Was not marked present in any of his classes.
Oh.
So he never. So he just must have not made it to the classroom. Is
Never
what
made it
she's
to the-
saying.
That's what the school's saying.
Okay.
And no one saw him.
No.
Like in the hallway?
Nope. They're saying that no one had seen him at the school since the science fair in the morning dropping off the poster, which means no one had seen Kyron for 8 hours.
Oh,
So he was seen at the science fair
Yep.
the same day he went missing.
Yes.
So the science fair, and then what did she do after the science fair?
She said he went off to class and she went home. Or she left. We'll get to it.
Okay.
So the only person that could say for sure that they even saw Kyron at the science fair was the PTA president. She said she saw him with Terri. No one else in the school, no janitor, no teacher, no student, no faculty could say that they saw Kyron that day.
Oh.
Which I guess
What?
if you're dropping off the poster, like, I mean, there's a picture of him at the school by his poster. Like, he definitely
Right.
was there at some point.
Okay.
But all these kids are bringing in their science fair. It's first
How
thing in
big
the
was
morning.
school?
Yeah, you're not paying attention. Yeah, how
Is it
big?
pretty
is
big
I don't
school?
know.
You know, there's 200 little kids running around.
Right.
And-
It's a lot to keep track
Right.
of.
Where this is in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah. Skyline
That's a
Elementary.
big city.
Yeah.
So I'm
it's
sure
fine.
it's
Very
a
heavily populated.
decent
Yeah.
sized
Right.
school.
To
Okay.
where, like, it might be hard to keep track of all these.
Yeah.
Right.
See someone. So they called the police right away, and searches began immediately at the school and surrounding areas, and Kyron's home and like the neighborhood and friends and whatnot. Terri was immediately questioned about where she was throughout the day after leaving the school. She said she left the school and went to 2 different Fred Meyer grocery stores. I've never heard of them, but it's not Meyer like our Meyer. It's
She went to 2
Meyer.
different ones?
Yeah. So the daughter, the baby, had an ear infection, and she was looking for the medicine. She went to one Fred Meyer looking for the medicine, didn't have it, so she went to the second one. There are receipts and footage of her at these stores.
Is there footage of her at the school?
Well,
Was there not cameras at the school?
That never got brought up. Well, just
Okay.
wait. I mean, there was the PTA, president of the PTA did see Kyron and Terri together at the school.
Okay.
I mean,
one
Kyron
person-
got to school, so she took the picture of him at the school. So we know for sure that they were there.
Okay.
So she drove around after finding the medicine. Finally, she said she drove around for about an hour or so trying to get her daughter to fall asleep in the car.
If my kid falls asleep in the car, I'm like driving.
Not getting out of that car.
I'm at least going to give them 30 minutes. I'm going to take
Yeah.
the long route.
Right.
Because as soon as you stop and open the door, they wake up.
Yes.
So.
That's fair.
I mean, yeah, I don't have a kid, but
She then went to the gym. She was like real into fitness back in this time. So like she was going to the gym like all the time.
Wait, with the kid? With the
Dropped
baby?
it off the daycare. So
With
she
an ear infection? Oh, okay, sorry.
no, but that's one of the points that gets brought up.
Okay.
So she says she goes to the gym
I
for
would have
about an
never
hour.
thought of that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have either.
Would have been like, oh,
It's just an
Fine.
ear infection. It's
Nobody wants to deal with a baby with an ear
Yeah.
infection.
That is my first thought was like it's not contagious. Who cares? But then I'm like, oh
Right.
my god, this baby's crying and screaming and
Right.
like no one. Yeah,
Fever, possibly.
all the other kids are gonna start screaming because this baby's screaming.
but maybe that's why she wanted to get to sleep so that she didn't tell him that she had an ear infection.
Oh, maybe. So she left there around 12:40. Around
gym.
the gym, yes.
Okay.
Left the gym. Around 1:20, she was back home and she had posted the picture that she had taken of Kyron that morning at the science fair, which is the CSI pic.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's her story. She's sticking to it.
Question: were there cameras at the gym? Like, did
Yeah.
she check in? She check in the baby?
It was never said that was like not proven, so I'm
Okay.
assuming that
It was just
yeah.
like,
Everything checked out.
She
like
checked
that.
the baby in at least.
okay. So
and,
that
yeah,
checked
she was
out.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that checked out. So they're searching. They have no like evidence of anything. A week later, there are still no signs of Kyron.
A week later.
Yeah. Search teams were still looking. It ended up being one of the largest searches for a missing person in Oregon history,
Oh.
spanning over 10 days. The initial search spanning over 10 days and included more than 1,300 people. A reward for any information on Kyron was posted for $25,000 at first, and by late July, when there were still no signs of Kyron, went up to $50,000.
Dang. Okay.
So
At least it didn't go down like Robert Durst.
Yes.
yeah, it's also a child though.
Yeah, no.
Innocent little boy.
We're gonna get into some developments that happened around good old soccer mom stepmom Terri.
Soccer mom, stepmom.
So shortly after Kyron's disappearance, Terri made a Facebook status with like, and this was like after they knew he was missing. So she knew he was missing. She should be essentially a grieving mother. Like, where's my son?
Trying to
Stepson,
find
whatever.
him, yeah.
Yes. Shortly after, she made a Facebook status and it said like, hitting the gym in the morning. Didn't get home till late last night.
What? Looking for
How
your
old
child?
is she? Yeah.
She's
I hope.
late 30s. Yeah, and this was within like 2 weeks, I want to say, of him going missing. She's just like hitting the gym. Like,
TTYL.
yeah, didn't get home till late last night. Not like,
selfie.
not was up late worrying about Kyron. Just got home at 8.
Still no news. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yes.
2 weeks.
So Desiree, Kyron's birth mother, began to seriously like suspect Terri of some sketchy biz.
Oh.
She was the last person to see him.
Right.
It seems weird. So she came out and said that Terri used to drop Kyron off at Desiree's all the time, saying like he needs to spend time with his mom, this and that, which I get.
Yeah.
I mean, that's maybe it was just Terri like trying to make sure Desiree was like in the picture.
Well, yeah, because you said that she also like went to school to be a teacher. Like,
Yeah.
she is a
Understands
substitute teacher.
the-
She may just be like, yeah, you do need to spend time with him.
Right. Like understand like development.
Yeah, that it's important to have them
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
Desiree started thinking that maybe it was because she just didn't want to deal with Kyron. Terri tried to get Kane to give custody back to Desiree over and over, apparently, but he refused to do it due to Desiree still recovering. Again, whether it was mentally, financially, whatever.
So she tried to like almost pawn him off.
Yeah,
Is that
in a way, like
okay.
Terri was like, get rid of this kid, is what Desiree is thinking.
Was this before or after she had the baby?
Good point.
It doesn't say.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess like a little bit of both, like it happened
Right.
before and after. So then Kane came out and said that because then it came out about her getting stopped with her son in
Right.
the car for the DUI. Like obviously now
Right.
she's being questioned, shit's getting brought up.
Mm-hmm.
He came out and said that he did notice Terri started drinking more once Kyron turned around 2 years old, which
Why
was
did
when
he
she
announce
came into the
that?
life. Because then he was probably questioned,
Oh.
and that's like he's defending like almost like his son at this point. Like
True.
you know what I mean?
Well, you don't want to hide anything either, you know.
Yes. So then it came out as to why neither Kane nor Desiree were contacted regarding Kyron being absent from school. Because, like,
True.
none of the
Yes.
teachers marked him as being there. So, like,
Then they usually by like after the
like,
first period, you would get
a phone call. Like,
Yeah.
hey, we noticed, especially being a 7-year-old.
your child
Yeah.
never showed up.
I mean, Sunny even gets calls
Yeah.
at Jackson High.
Right. Like, you can't just
Especially
not
after
show
being
up.
there in the morning.
Right.
Yeah.
So one of the teachers said that she was told by Terri that Kyron wouldn't be in school on Friday because he had a doctor's appointment.
Oh.
So obviously, Terri was questioned about it right away. And she said that she did tell one of Kyron's teachers that he wouldn't be in school Friday, but she didn't say why or what Friday she was referring to.
Well, that's-
Wouldn't you just assume it was the next coming up Friday?
Yeah,
If
why would
someone
you
were
be
to say?
Why would you be telling her that and expect her to think that it's any other day but the coming fucking Friday?
Right.
Why would you think it would be 2 weeks later?
Yes.
Why would you think it'd be a year from now?
Right.
What?
What
Why
Friday?
did you
Like,
think it was last Friday? I don't
If-
understand.
If I were to say right now, I have a doctor's appointment on Sunday, wouldn't
It's
you assume
Sunday.
it's the coming up Sunday?
Yes.
Not like any fucking Sunday there could be in the future?
Right.
She thought this shit through. And she
But
was
did you?
like,
'Cause
oh,
that-
I'm
now
not
you're
specific,
backtracking.
so...
That just makes her look
Oh.
like she's backtracking and
Yes.
trying to think quick
Yeah.
on her feet. Like,
Yeah.
Yes. So at this point, because of that and the fact that Terri was the last person to see Kyron, the police were like, yo, come in for questioning. They gave her a lie detector test.
Oh, no, never.
She failed.
No shit.
well, with what questions?
And they didn't specify, but we will get to
Okay.
later. We'll get to it later. So then police started looking into like where her whereabouts during the time between Kyron getting dropped off at school and like
right.
3:30 or when she got back home. So her cell phone pinged from a tower on Sauvie Island. I didn't look into what Sauvie Island is,
Is
but
that
I'm
what her
ass-
gym is?
No, because it's okay. So it's 30 minutes north of Oregon, and I'm assuming it's like it's not like populated almost. Like it's like a nature trail, that kind of thing. I
Oh.
don't think it's like
Okay.
Mackinac, but I could be wrong. Let me look it up just real quick and see.
Were there
that.
any questions about where Desiree was during?
No, she was never. Either her whereabouts were always like
Okay.
she was with
No.
someone,
Mhm.
or it was
Okay.
never.
So
She never comes into question.
Okay.
Right?
No.
Okay.
I mean, they obviously like questioned the mom and dad, and like
right.
Mm-hmm.
But they
you know,
checked
but
out.
it was never. Yeah, nothing
Okay.
ever
They
came
had
up to where.
solid alibis.
Okay. Oh, it's 32.75 square miles, so it's not big.
Okay.
It's just like woods. I'm
Yeah,
confused.
like what I can see is it's like people went there to like duck hunt and shit, hunting geese and kayaking. So like, okay, it sounds like a nature,
Like
you
a,
know,
Okay.
not like a natural forest, but
like a nature reserve kind of thing,
Right.
like Asylum Lake
Oh,
in Kalamazoo. That's like
Okay.
what I'm picturing.
all right.
Oh,
Cool.
okay.
So it's just like a nature thing. So her cell phone pinged from a tower around there, which is 30 minutes north of Oregon,
Okay.
where she said she was not on Sauvie Island. She did not go there.
She said she was at the gym.
Well, this was about the time she was driving around to soothe her daughter.
Oh.
So-
before the store then.
Yes.
Okay.
After the store,
After
Before
the
the
store,
gym.
Before the gym for an hour.
there's an hour where
the
she's on a,
daycare.
Yeah.
Right?
the gym's at the
Before she-
daycare.
yeah,
Or
before she
daycare's at the
dropped off
gym.
the kid at
Oh, it's the
daycare.
same place.
Yes. Like they have like
Oh.
a daycare in the gym to watch your kid while you work out.
Okay.
So, yes. So
Makes
she claims she did not go there, but that maybe her cell phone pinged off of it when she drove by it when she was trying to soothe her daughter.
Is she telling them how it works or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So there was a truck caught on surveillance cameras that day that resembled the one Terri was driving, but they couldn't prove that was her. So obviously a lot of red flags are like coming up now. Like shit's getting weird. So police brought Terri in for a second lie detector test.
Oh God. Why?
She kept refusing to come back. Yeah, a lie detector test, they're not even admissible in court. Like they're not. Granted,
And she already
you
failed
can
the
talk
first
about
one.
it in court and the jury's going to lean on that,
Yeah.
but it's not
But she
You
already
can-
failed the first one.
Mm-hmm.
right. Like,
So,
Yeah. What do you need another one for?
right.
just wait.
To see if she's telling the truth this time? I don't
Yeah.
understand.
So she refused. A week later, she finally came in. Was
You're
like,
right.
all right, whatever, I'll do it. She failed again. She claims that what caused her to fail the test was this one question.
Oh,
She
God.
said she was never asked if she murdered Kyron, if she knew where he was, who was with him, any of that. She was never asked any of those questions. But one question that she was asked that she failed was Kyron in the truck with you the morning of that day?
Mm-hmm.
She goes, like, I can't get that one right because he was in the truck in the morning on the way to school,
Right.
but he wasn't in the truck when I left. So
Right.
either way, I answer yes or no is wrong.
Okay.
So she goes, I didn't fail because they asked me where I knew where he was, and I said no. I failed because they asked me if he was in my car, and whether I said yes or no was wrong.
Okay. Well,
So-
good point, Terri.
That
Yeah.
was her.
well, that's
She
fair.
ain't wrong. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, she's
Did
not
it
wrong,
say
but
that was the only question she got wrong during that test?
that's what she says.
Well, okay.
And
Well,
like,
now
I
I'm
don't
just
have
gonna take her
access
word.
to. Yeah,
Right.
right.
But she's
But
got
apparently,
a good
like,
point.
she went home after taking these both tests and failing. Like, went home and was like essentially like bragging about him. Like, yeah, I failed. Like, back home to Kane.
What does her
the
husband
missing
think about
son's.
this?
Yeah.
He's at first he supported her. Was like, no way could she do this. But then all these red flags start coming up, and he starts questioning himself. But like, wouldn't you be fucking scared? Like, I'm living with this woman.
Why
Right.
would she sit
could have
there and
done it.
brag to her husband about
Right.
essentially his missing child?
Yes,
Exactly.
because she's not right. It gets worse.
Oh God.
Ooh.
Yes. Okay, so now we're at June 26th. So we are 22 days after Kyron's gone missing. Still no sign.
Poor child.
The police station gets a call from Kane saying Terri is threatening him. Kane left the house with their daughter. They had supposedly gotten this fight. Kane left the house with their daughter, and the police came by and tried to calm Terri down. And like at this point, they're all in the spotlight, media
Right.
spotlight. Like this boy's missing. All this weird shit's coming up with Terri. This family's kind of a little,
Right.
not messed up, but just
A little crazy.
it's a little
Little
messy.
background.
Yeah. The mom's here, the dad's here,
Yeah.
now the stepmom's accused, or suspect, whatever. So the media caught wind of this, police being called, and she denied the fight, said it never happened, the relationship was fine, this and that. 2 days later, Kane filed a restraining order against Terri for him and their daughter.
Well, that's fair.
He also filed for divorce.
Oh,
Ooh. Restraining
So-
order and a divorce.
Yes, he was
Rough
like-
day.
damn. Right.
Yeah. That's what you get, bitch. So, at this point, police are investigating people, that know the family, friends,
Right.
this and that. So they investigate. They finally get down to this man named Rudolfo Sanchez. He goes by Rudy, so we're going to call him Rudy from here on out.
Rudy Sanchez.
Rudy Sanchez. Well, they finally found out that he was a landscaper that was hired by Terri
Okay.
to mow their lawn,
Mm-hmm.
which was a chore that her son James was supposed to be doing.
Oh, yeah. James.
Yeah, right? So by this point, he's...
Oh yeah, James. Where's that fucker?
How old is he at this point? He's in his teens, young teens.
Oh, okay.
Well, this is all 2008.
We're in 10. We're in 2010.
So how old were you, Amelia?
Oh,
25.
not, how old were you in
26.
2010?
Oh,
Okay.
I was 16.
Okay, so yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Like 16.
A
Yeah.
normal chore for a 16-year-old, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yes. Okay, so not unfair.
No.
No.
That's an easy, fair chore.
Right.
Their yard wasn't like huge.
Okay.
I mean, they had some yard, but not to where you'd have to pay someone to do it.
Right.
Like
Okay.
they had a 6-year-old son. So she hired Rudy to come mow their lawn,
Mm-hmm.
but didn't tell Kane and let James take the credit for the lawn being mowed.
Oh, so she's favoritizing
Ooh.
James.
Yes.
Mhm.
She was
Okay.
like, I don't want to make James do this, but I don't want to tell Kane, so we're going to keep this hush hush.
Okay.
So
Was
Now
James a decent child? Like decent
nothing
kid?
comes up
Okay.
about him, so I'm
All right.
assuming.
He's probably like, hell
No,
yeah,
I
I don't
won't.
got him a lawn.
Yeah.
He ain't
I'm fine with that.
complaining.
He's 16. He's like, fuck yes.
Yeah.
So now she's just established this, like, you're a liar.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're doing some weird shit.
Clearly.
Sketchy.
So when police interviewed Rudy, asking about, was anything weird in the family, he came out and said Terri offered him $10,000 to kill Kane in January of that year.
Oh my God.
So 6 months ago, she went up and said, I'll pay you $10,000 if you kill my husband.
What'd he say?
What?
Oh, well, obviously he didn't do
Who
it.
asked him? Who asked somebody who mows lawns to do
Right.
Yes.
that?
What? Did you
That
think he
is
was
so
gonna do it with the
risky.
lawnmower?
Yeah. Well, he probably thinks he has access to like a
Yeah,
wood
power
chipper
tools.
or
Power tools.
well, I was thinking like a wood chipper and could easily dispose of the body. He knows where to take like weeds and shit. Or also maybe she was just desperate and she was like, this
Yeah.
guy.
Still such a
I
risky
tried to
thing
find
do.
pictures on him and I couldn't really find anything and I'm not even sure if it was really him. That's why I didn't bring it up.
He may not want his. He may be keeping his identity because of it.
Yeah.
But I also think he's foreign.
Mm-hmm.
So she might have thought he needs the money. Maybe he
Mhm.
didn't have his green card or only had a green card, wasn't a
Right.
citizen, like was
That's even
probably
more
thinking
risky.
like. So Terri denied the accusations. And she said Rudy actually came on to her.
Oh, of course.
So she claims that at one point he had showed up at her house. It happened to be Mother's Day. And he was coming to do yard work. But when he got there, he was like dressed really nicely, had cologne on, said he just wanted to see her, came up, like kissed her on the cheek, and was like being all touchy-feely. But she didn't want to tell Kane that he was coming on to her because Kane didn't know there was even a landscaper to begin with. So now she has two lies.
So why wouldn't she just fire him?
Yeah.
Because then she said Rudy approached her and said, I will kill your husband so that we can be together.
Nah.
And she said,
This is after he already
what was
said she offered $10,000
Right.
to kill her husband. Now she's backtracking and saying, no, he said, I'll kill your husband so we can be together.
and you didn't think that was important to mention to not only your husband but to the police?
Right.
She says she didn't mention it because he didn't know she had a landscaper, so that she's going to have to like explain that.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well that's worth explaining over your
Right.
husband's life.
Right. And that's what comes out too. It's like, okay, you're going to sit here and say that now he threatened your husband's life, but at the time you didn't think it was a big deal.
Right.
Like, as soon as that happened, you should have, number one, fired him. Number two, called the police.
yeah.
Right. Yeah. I don't
So-
believe that for a second.
No, I don't either.
So then it comes out that Terri was sexting another man that was not her husband, and she was having an affair with him during the time Kyron was missing.
Like after he was missing?
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, she was having the affair before, but like was sexting him like within days.
Oh, well, she
Oh.
definitely was
Sexting, not
heartbroken.
texting. So the man that she was having an affair with was her ex-husband Kane's high school friend. She admitted to the affair. She did say it happened, and she said she did it because Kane had cheated on her.
God.
Kane denies ever having an affair. Terri
She's
claims that
crazy.
Michael showed up at the house. It was a setup. He was supposed to come on to her and like get her to have an affair, and that she went ahead with it because she was pissed at Kane because he cheated on her, and she just like wanted to get back with him and was like seeking comfort from anyone at that point.
Oh, of
Okay.
course.
So she had the affair.
She's
she-
dramatic as hell.
Yes.
Yeah, she is.
She sent texts saying like, I know you're attracted to me. If you didn't have your kid, Michael also had a kid. If you didn't have your son tonight, I'd come show you what I thought of you. Sent pictures of her in her underwear.
Okay.
26 days after Kyron went missing.
Jeez.
gosh.
And it's still not
Heartless.
found.
Ugh.
Yes.
She don't give a shit.
So now like Desiree, everyone's finding this shit out. So everyone's like, Terri fucking did it. We all hate her. Desiree at this point somehow got a copy of an email that Terri wrote to a friend on the night before Kyron went missing.
Oh, God.
saying her and Kane got into a fight and were up until 3 a.m. fighting about their marital problems. She was moving out and they were getting a divorce.
The night before he went missing.
The next day, Kyron goes missing.
Ugh.
Kane said they never had an argument. When he left the house the day of, everything was fine.
Okay, she's
Nothing
a
was out of sorts.
pathological
No
liar.
fight ever happened.
What?
Oh.
Yes. So now we're at July 9th, 2010. So a month and 5 days after Kyron went missing.
Mm-hmm.
Terri was brought in for a third lie detector
Why do they
test.
keep giving this
God.
woman lie detector tests?
She stormed out in the middle of it saying that the questions were ridiculous, this and that. She wasn't going to answer them. She was not forced to stay there and do it, so she left, and it was never
Why is she
finished.
agreeing to do it then? It's
Probably
like
because
she's...
they keep hounding her, like, come do it, come do it. I don't...
And it looks bad if you don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Well, why
But
do they
storming
need
out doesn't make
3
it look good
different...
either.
Right.
Why do they need 3 different tests?
I don't know. Because at this point, they're trying to find, which I don't know why you're using a lie detector test, because there's no, like, concrete evidence to get her. Like, yeah, all this weird shit's coming out, and there's all this speculation, but there's nothing for the police to say,
To build a
arrest
case.
her.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, we're going to try her for this.
Right.
So at this point, I think they're trying to get her to incriminate herself in a way.
Just kind of like harass her
Cracker?
enough to where
Yeah.
she confesses.
Try to get
Oh,
something
okay.
that you can question, and it's enough
to get her to slip up. And,
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Oh.
think that's what they were doing.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Right. So at this point, police are like grasping, you know, in a sense, for like, we need to find that. So they have Rudy come back in, and they ask him to wear a wire,
Oh,
go
no.
to Terri, and ask for the $10,000 that she said she had offered to kill the husband, or like get her to admit to it.
Right.
She wouldn't admit to it. She caught on. This was 6 months after like she had offered him the $10,000. So she's like, this is sketchy.
Right.
So she calls the police. He comes over and says, like, I want that money that you offered for me to kill your husband. She called the police on him. And like the police knew
To say what?
that he was coming, and like pissed that it was all coming out, and she told the police that she was going to kill her husband, and like all this shit.
So pretty much saying like he's trying to get me
Yeah.
to give him
He
money
wants
for
to kill
something
my
I
husband.
asked him to do.
Well, she's saying that's not true. She's saying, like, I did not offer him money. He wanted to kill my husband. And so the police were like, okay, you didn't call when he first wanted
Right,
to kill
and
your
now
husband.
you
Right.
are.
And now
Now
you
he's
are.
coming back. And obviously we have the whole fucking thing recorded.
Right.
Like, that's not what he was saying when he was at your house. So, but again, there was like nothing concrete enough to
Right.
use against her. So July 16th, a week later, Terri moved out of Kane's home and with her parents. During this time, her friend Dee Dee moved in with her. So Terri and Dee Dee, BFFs. She said she moved in to like emotionally support Terri and like help her through all this.
At her,
Poor
Terry's
Terri.
parents' house.
That's what it says.
Poor
Okay.
Terry. She needs all the help she can get.
Yeah. So then people started to suspect that Dee Dee was involved. Because the day Kyron went missing, Dee Dee was I wonder if this ties in at all. She did like gardening and stuff.
She know Rudy.
Mhm.
So I don't know. That's it just clicked when I like thinking about what I was going to say. I wonder if they knew each other. So during the hours that Kyron went missing that day, Dee Dee was working at a customer's house, like doing all this gardening stuff. Apparently, the guy came out around 11 a.m. to check on her to make sure like everything was going well with the gardening.
Mhm.
She was not there. Her car was out front. She was not there. So he's like yelling for her. He's like checking the bathroom, checking inside. Maybe she came to find me. Tried to call her cell phone, went straight to voicemail. So her phone was off.
Ooh,
Mm.
Dee Dee.
She still to this day says she never left the job site.
There's a witness saying
Was
that
there?
she
Was this
wasn't
just
there.
someone's house?
It was like one of her jobs, like a landscaper going and doing like
Yeah.
But it was
whatever.
a house. It wasn't like a huge
a business
property or
no, it was a house.
Oh.
But her car was out front, so someone had to have picked her up.
Yeah. Well,
and this was
Terry
the
did.
same hour that Terri said she was driving around to soothe her
Oh.
daughter.
Oh.
Yep, for sure.
Yes.
She in on it.
Yes.
Mhm.
She
Oh,
got
wow.
back around 1 p.m. and like that's when the guy saw her again. Was at 1 p.m. So from 11 to 1, she's unaccounted for.
It's one heck of a lunch break there.
Yeah.
Dee Dee.
Yeah. So she never left the house. At this point, so now we're a month and a half after Kyron went missing, Terri finally gave her first statement. She has not spoken out to the public since all this happened.
Wow.
The mom and dad have, and Terry's been there like when Kane was
Right,
talking,
but
but
she
she hasn't
hasn't.
given. Which, as the last person to see with
Where he
Kyron,
is, yeah.
And all these accusations.
Yes.
You think she'd want to.
She came out, said she's innocent, had nothing to do with it. She's being set up because she was the last person to see him. Desiree doesn't like her, so she's questioning her and making it seem like it's her fault. There was a white truck spotted by people at the school the day he went missing, saying there was a man inside of it and not her.
Mm-hmm.
She claims that the day before Kyron went missing, this man in the white truck went to 7-Eleven. She will not tell who told her this also. This is some intel that she all of a sudden has, and she is not telling anyone
in her truck.
In a white truck, not her truck, but one similar.
Oh.
Went to 7-Eleven, went inside, and asked the clerk where the nearest school was. And the next day, Kyron went
Okay.
And
missing.
she just now came up with this?
Yes, this has never been brought up, and all of a
Okay.
sudden on her
A month and a half
first
later.
statement, that's what she's saying
I
out to
can't
the
with
media.
her.
No so she said the clerk called 911 saying like this guy came in and asked where the nearest school was, which is sketchy, and the police never followed up on it. No record of any phone call from any 7-Eleven in the area that day, and no white truck found on any surveillance on any of the 7-Elevens that
Terry.
day.
Okay.
So like, you are just not. Why would you even say that?
She's just trying
why-
everything she can now to get this
Yes.
off her
They're
back.
such far-fetched stories.
Right.
Yes.
Like, do something that's a little believable.
Right.
Yes.
Or just don't acknowledge
Right.
it.
Like, why even bring it up?
Why even go that far into a
Right.
story?
Right.
You just
that's
look
like-
even more guilty.
Yeah.
Yes. Like you should have just been like, I didn't see anything, I didn't hear anything, I have no idea.
Right.
Right.
Why are you now? You're just like lie after lie after lie. So now
Yeah.
you do look suspicious as fuck. So at this point, Kane asks a judge to hold Terri in contempt of court. He claims that he tried to kidnap their daughter from daycare, which violated the restraining order. The staff stopped it from happening.
Good.
And he also claims that she showed Michael Cook, who she was having an affair with, sealed documents regarding the restraining order against her. That didn't go anywhere. So at this point, Terri has lawyered up.
Oh, she should have a long
yeah.
time ago
Yeah.
before she took those lie detector tests.
Right. But the lawyer she has is like one of these like big shot lawyers that costs like $250,000.
like
Who's paying for that?
Like
Michael Caine files another lawsuit saying like, where is she getting the money for this lawyer? No fucking way can she afford this. She was working part-time substitute teacher when she was
Right.
married to me, and she hadn't been able to find a job since because no one was about to hire this potential
Right.
kidnapper.
Who filed the
murderer.
lawsuit?
Michael or Caine.
Kane.
So it's like a lawyer, like Casey Anthony lawyer.
Yeah, it's a big shot defense lawyer. Yes. So on August 2nd, 2010, a grand jury takes testimony from people of interest in the case. So they bring in like Kane, Dee Dee, Rudy, all these freaking people to try and get something to build this case around her and bring her in.
Right.
August 25th, there's a hearing for the divorce of Kane and Terri, and it is delayed because of everything else going on. So they're still not officially divorced
So
at
they
this
can't.
point.
They probably can't until.
That sucks.
yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, because there's all these like
Open.
yes. So Kane drops his civil lawsuit against her because he's like, okay, too much is going on, and like I just need to get divorced and find my son, and like
money out
and
of
this-
their account.
yes. So everything was, it's all loose ends. There's nothing to tie
Right.
anywhere. So come
Just a bunch of interviews and no concrete evidence.
yes, nothing to tie anyone to the disappearance. So July 11th, 2011. So little over a year from when Kyron first went missing. The
And
police,
are they not searching anymore? Are they
Oh.
just assuming he's dead?
the police officially end the search efforts on this day.
Oh,
They've been
my
searching the
bad.
entire time.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah. No,
year later?
That's what I mean. Yes.
Okay.
After a year, they announced they're going to stop searching for him. They still had a lead detective that was full time, like trying to find Kyron. But as far as like the search efforts,
Right.
at this point, they'd spent like over $1 million just
Yeah,
to search,
right.
and they haven't found anything or tried anyone or gotten anywhere.
A year later, wow.
Yeah. So at some point, you have to like, you know. Then in 2012, Desiree, the mom, tries to file a civil lawsuit against Terri for custodial interference, which is like
Custody interference.
custodial.
Yeah, but doesn't that mean custody interference?
Yeah.
Or no?
It's like preventing someone,
From seeing.
essentially like, yeah, keeping a child away from seeing their parent permanently.
Yeah.
So she's saying, I can't file
Oh.
criminal against you because I don't have concrete evidence, but I can civil lawsuit you for keeping me from my son. And a civil lawsuit is way easier. You don't have to have as much evidence. It's not like, a criminal lawsuit.
Right.
So she files that. That started in October of 2012. They bring in Dee Dee as a witness. This bitch pleads the fifth 142 times her questioning.
142 times.
Yes.
That's like Jeffrey Epstein.
All she admitted to was working in the garden that day and never leaving, and then pled the fifth every other fucking question.
That bitch guilty.
I mean, like, what did they ask her?
Like, do you know anything about Kyron? Do you know anything? Like, where was Terri? Where was... I don't know the questions, but I'm assuming that's what they're asking.
And she's under oath, so she's like, no, not
plead the fifth, which is her right. She can't be forced. That's all right.
But if you have nothing to hide, why are you pleading the fifth?
And
you literally
exactly
are like, if you're not involved whatsoever, why are you even pleading the fifth?
Yes. People who don't have anything to hide aren't going to plead the fifth.
Yeah.
If you're worried about incriminating yourself, then there's something you did.
Exactly.
For all we know, we literally think she has nothing to do with the case except for that she's friends with Terri.
And that she was gone.
So like, why would you?
Yeah.
Why would you not? Why would you plead the fifth? It's only sketchy if you plead the fifth. Like, she clearly did something.
Clearly.
Right. Or knows. She
was in on it.
She was in on it. Even if she wasn't in on it, though, she knows.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you wouldn't.
Because where did this Dee Dee even fucking come from?
You don't cut yourself up.
I feel like they were getting ballsy. Like,
I think so. Like no one
Dee
knew
Dee,
about Dee Dee, then all of a sudden she's moving in with her and her big support system.
Yeah,
but
and then like nobody suspected her. Nobody suspected Terri until she started just like acted like she wasn't caring, cheating on her husband. Like you know, like they were getting ballsy.
Right.
Hiring a hitman to kill her husband.
Yeah. The guy that mows your lawn.
Yeah.
Come on.
That you're hiding from your husband so that you can say your son mows the lawn. Like, what the fuck? So, jump forward July 30th of 2013. So, a little over a year since Desiree filed the lawsuit.
Mm-hmm.
Dropped it because it wasn't getting anywhere. And, again, spending all that money. Like,
Jesus.
To this
She's
day.
got a good lawyer.
Yeah. Well, but, again, where is she getting that money?
They never found out. Oh, they had to drop it because of the divorce, Because
it kept getting postponed. December 31st, 2013, Kane and Terri's divorce was finally finalized.
Oh my gosh, I totally forgot. I just figured it was finalized.
Yeah, it kept being postponed because the judge, like, they would come for a hearing and, like, they would just start, like, arguing and, like, the whole Kyron thing would get brought up and the judge would be like, no, we're ending this. We'll delay it a couple months. Y'all need to cool off. And then with everything else going on, it kept getting postponed for years.
Jeez.
That sucks. He had to be married to her for that long.
I know.
Right.
Like they were separated, but still, like, get this bitch out of my life.
Evil.
Did he get to see the daughter?
He has full custody.
Oh, that's right.
As far as
restraining order, like I don't think.
Oh yeah.
What about James? Where the hell is James?
He never got brought back
like,
up.
My
Yet.
mom is gonna have to kidnap me. Get me out of here.
Well, no, at this point he's an adult.
Oh yeah, because he was 16.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So
He's
once
20.
all this, like, he's probably like, fuck this, I'm
gonna go to New York,
out.
go to college, see ya.
Yeah.
I'm out.
You're never gonna see me again.
My mom was crazy.
Right.
Yeah. So the divorce is finalized. To this day, no one, including Terri and Dee Dee, have been charged with anything regarding the disappearance of Kyron.
That's
Neither were ever
stupid.
named a suspect. A suspect?
Suspect?
Yes. And no concrete evidence to tie either one of them has ever come to light. But as of May 26th this year, this is the last update I could find on it. As of May 26th, a book was released titled Boy Missing. I completely just dyslexia myself.
Okay.
Titled Boy Missing: The Search for Kyron Horman. And in it, there are multiple claims that people have come forward since saying they saw Kyron leaving the school with Terri the morning he went missing.
Oh.
But
This
is also yours. Why didn't you say that in the beginning?
Right.
So it's
There's just
Yeah.
Are there just no cameras showing that? Like, I don't
Yeah,
understand
that's
how
what I
this
do.
child left, came into the school, but then left without anything on camera.
Yeah.
I don't know about the cameras, but I do know, at one point I read somewhere, because it was the science fair,
Yeah.
the doors that are usually locked and you have to be buzzed in were open because all of these parents were bringing their kids to drop off the science fair projects.
Right.
So security was a little lenient that day because there were so many people coming in and out.
Mm-hmm.
So even if there were cameras, you might not be able to even see. Like, remember that story we did where they were crossing the border and they thought it was the McStay family?
Yeah.
Like, you could almost not tell there was a kid with the guy, but we knew there was, so we saw it.
Right.
In a mass of people walking in and out, you might see her walking out and there's a kid next to her, but was she, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I just feel like there's usually cameras like in the parking lot, and that's what I'm thinking.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Oh, I was thinking just at like the entrance.
I was thinking like the parking lot or close to like,
but
you know, where people drop off their kids, like a line like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but what if she parked to walk the poster in?
And there was like nothing on this island, that little tower that picked up.
Yeah,
did
they searched. There? Yeah, they searched. I know this was another weird thing I saw. So they searched Kane's property because there was, you know.
Did they search that guy's property where she was doing landscaping?
Rudy's? No, I think he was cleared.
No, not Rudy.
What about Dee Dee's?
Dee Dee, the person she was doing landscaping to.
I mean, it didn't say, but I would hope they would have at least went and questioned him and like.
Yeah.
I think he would have noticed if they. Well, I don't know. He didn't know she left. So, but then again, she could have just like walked down the block and was picked up.
Yeah.
I did see on one article that like Kane would only allow police to investigate or to search his property. So like when they tried to get professional investigators and like searchers to come in, he would not allow them. He only allowed police. But he never denied the police to come look. He said, anytime you want to come search my house, yes. So he says it was like a privacy thing that he just, you know, some people are just very private and they're not comfortable with it.
The police, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was never not cooperative with them, but he wouldn't allow like investigators to come in. Only the police.
Why. That's weird.
Yeah.
But I think he was cleared, but
Yeah. That's crazy.
So I saw that like literally on his, this was his 10-year. This year was?
Oh yeah.
There was a memorial.
Oh.
Like they have a memorial for him. I don't know if it's at the school or at their house or what.
That's
but I did
precious
see
that they still do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's just crazy how like no one saw him.
Right.
All those people in the school that day. No one saw him
It's
leave.
crazy how much you need to pay attention to your surroundings.
Yes.
That's
for that
scary.
Reason. I know.
Even if Terri didn't do it, which let's be real, she probably did.
She did.
Then someone so easily took this child out of the school and we've never seen him since.
No trace?
Yes.
Right.
But then like
no
I was
clue,
listening.
no nothing.
But so I was listening to this podcast about it, and it was Dr. Phil's, and he's all into this shit. Like, you know, he is very knowledgeable on all this stuff. So he's interviewed child abductors, kidnappers, and like, how do you get away with it? And like, they could do it in broad daylight and no one would ever know. They'll come up and like, I don't even want to say it, this makes me sick, like punch the child to where the child can't breathe, like knock the breath out of them. And then as they're struggling, they'll pick them up, hold them face down on their shoulder and carry them out. So it looks like the kid's just crying. Like he's just sad because he's struggling to breathe. So it might look like he's hyperventilating from crying. Oh my gosh. If someone did pick him up and walk out, maybe it was just like, oh, their son's crying, so they're walking him outside to the car.
And they couldn't even tell who it was.
Yeah, they can't see because the kid's head's down. They put him in the car, they drive away.
Okay.
How
That's
easily?
terrifying.
Oh my God, Kendra's a mother here.
Yeah,
Jesus,
of
I'm
a
so
2-year-old, like.
Yes, I just realized that.
What was said on the Dr. Phil show that she was on?
What did Terri say?
Mm-hmm.
She denies it all. She says she's being set up.
Set up by who?
Everyone. That Desiree hated her.
This like good stepmom who like took time off to like raise him.
Yes.
While his, birth mother went through all this stuff with her health. Who's gonna set her up?
Who has the time except for her?
Right.
She wasn't working.
Right.
Yeah.
And then she just kept lying and lying, like.
Right. And then you were having an affair, and then you're asking the lawnmower guy to kill your husband, like.
Right.
And now nothing you say can be trusted. The what?
The DUI she
the
got.
DUI.
Yes, sketch. And you also, none of your marriages lasted more than like a fucking year or two. So like, there's something sketchy going on in your life, bitch.
She's not right.
No.
Oh, that was the thing too. She like went to school for like education for young kids. So that was another one of her defenses. She was like, I love kids. Like, I went to school to teach kids. Like, I would never hate a child. I would never do anything
that doesn't
hurtful
mean
to
shit.
a child.
No.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean shit anymore.
Exactly.
No, that's the only thing she has.
I mean, there are police officers who commit crimes. Like, just
Right.
because you went to school.
There's nurses.
Yeah, there are lawyers. Like, these people who are like, granted, we're all supposed to follow the laws, but.
She has a motive.
Right.
Know?
You want your husband gone. You know you can't afford to go off on your own. She's a sketchy bitch.
This wasn't like her. She didn't give birth to this child.
No, but she's been around since.
Right.
And when this kid was 2 years old, so Ari's age,
right,
the mom went away and she took essentially full
custody.
Oh, not custody, but like responsibility for this child.
The dad had full custody.
Yes.
So basically,
he was working all the time. She essentially raised him from 2 and up.
So how could you even do that? Like with the.
Yeah.
Being so close to this child.
Right. Like you helped raise that child.
Right. So do you think she did it? Or do you think it's all just like media speculation made to look like she did?
No, she fucking did it. And Dee Dee helped her.
Tried to hack the guy who, his father, and then got rid of the child.
Yeah.
And then she just got her boy James and then this little baby.
Yeah. And James is old enough to be. Well, no, she doesn't have the baby.
Well, no.
Well, she thought.
That, like,
yes.
Those are
you
her
thought.
children.
Nah, she definitely did it. Dee Dee definitely helped.
Dee Dee helped. But why? Why would Dee Dee help?
I think she was just her friend and was like,
I'm sorry.
I need to help her.
I love you, but if you came up to me and were like, yo, let's take this kid, I'd be like, nah.
Let's not, bitch.
I love you, but no.
Let's take on your own. Kid. So what if I killed someone? Would you help me hide the body?
Yes, but...
Well, Amelia said no, so now I know who to call.
But if it's a child and there's no,
God,
like...
I would never...
You know,
oh, gosh, no.
I guess I would ask who first before I would get myself involved. I would ask who.
Who was it?
I feel like there are multiple people that she would be like, fuck yes, kill him and I will help.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to be there.
Yeah. You want to be there?
I'm going to be there.
Oh, she would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know I'm not going to call Amelia.
Listen, I would help, but like if we get caught, like I'm not a good liar is my thing.
It will take me 12 hours to get here, but I'll help you.
I'll meet you halfway, even better.
There we go.
Not either of our home states.
I don't even think I could physically handle that, like...
Trauma.
Yeah. I really don't think. I don't think you want me to deal with that trauma.
Nah, she'd crack. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, she would crack for sure.
Okay, well, cut this out of the podcast. Yeah. Anything happens.
Seriously.
If anything happens, it wasn't me.
Right.
It was Kendra.
Kendra helped her.
Kendra and Kelly. Well, good story, Kelly.
Yeah, good job. Yeah.
I had never heard of it.
Sad story. But
I've heard like short episodes on it. I've never like detailed.
I've never heard it.
That's so sad.
Terri.
And he was the cutest little kid.
Yes, he deserves justice. Hopefully,
yes,
they will get that.
How have they not found the body? Also,
that's
though, like,
right.
No, I know that always blows my mind.
Right.
Like, what did they do with it? They had to have like burned it or something, because like I don't know.
But bones, like
yeah.
But think about the Dark Knight
and throw the bones in like a river.
Just think about like Darker the Night. I think that they burned those bodies and scattered those bones.
Oh hell no! I think they ground it up and fed him to the pigs.
Maybe they burnt him, and when they went to that thing, they just like scattered his shit.
Sauvie Island.
That island. Mm-hmm.
But why? He's such an innocent child.
I know. Like,
and
what did that child do to you? Why couldn't you have just divorced the dad and move on?
Right.
You weren't gonna get custody of that child, so what did that child do to you?
Right.
She got some problems for sure.
No one's gonna try to marry her.
Nope.
She's done.
You had 3 tries at it and you fucked up every single one.
Yeah. It just got like worse and worse every marriage.
Yes, literally.
She definitely ain't getting married a 4th time.
Nah. I don't even know who would hire her at that point.
I was saying she's not even getting a job.
Nah.
Especially not teaching children. Are you
Hell
kidding
no.
me?
Nah, she's screwed.
She's on a list.
Yeah. So that's the story of the disappearance of Kyron Horman.
Well, good story, Kendra. Thank you for being a guest.
Yes.
This was fun.
I know. It timed out that she was in Michigan.
Yeah. This probably won't happen again for me, but I appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah.
We appreciate you coming.
Yes.
So cheers to Kendra and cheers to
Kyron.
Kyron.